Hello everyone, so here we go with another video on some housing stuff. We had an update recently with weekly maintenance, so I figured I'd touch on that, and then some of the things I did not hit on the prior video. So let's get out of here real quick. Alright, so one of the things that happened with the update was at the crafting table where we do our processing. As you can see here, you might notice something a little different. There is some extra gray items that we can make. For each category, we have these chests now where you can batch make gray items. So you need 60 to make each chest, and each chest guarantees 10 of those items. There is no, success chance or anything here. But one of the major things that I wanted to point out about this is look at the XP. Now, obviously, I'm level 11 on this one. Let's see. I think they're all pretty high. Okay, so 10. It's at 25. So obviously it's going down. But if I recall correctly, at level 8 or 9, the XP was like 35, and I believe that was the same for my guildies when they were showing me. So like the minimum is 35. So you are getting, if you're caring about leveling up your stuff right now to reach level 8, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this because every XP point really matters because of the time constraints and how many slots we have. Because you're losing out on a ton of XP. Because what you should be getting for 10 of these is like 6 or 7. So you're losing a little less than half of the XP batch making. So if you are leveling up to level 8, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it because it's going to add on to how many things you do need to make to reach the level. But past level 8, it is super helpful because you can just throw in these batch makes, which they do have a longer craft time. As you can see here, the same amount as like a green, 10 minutes for each versus the 1 minute per. So the time is at least equivalent. It's just the XP that changes for whatever reason they decided to do that. But yeah, so that was with the update. Super helpful. Along with the update, they added in the fortune stones, which here in Castleton, the vendor's right over here near the storage. So we'll take a quick peek over here. As you can see, I've already bought the first chest. So the first chest, super helpful if you're working on leveling up your housing stuff, because what you are looking at is what you get. You get 20 of each of the blue raw ingredients. So that's amazing. And it's the first tier of things you need, so 300 fortune stones. And you can get this for housing, and then the second one is also for housing. You get this little luggage piece, which is worth 500 rating, as you can see by the little house icon. So we get 2 cool housing things out of the fortune stone stuff. The rest of the stuff is like PvE, whatnot. So there was that with the update. Something else that I just did not talk about in the last video really was gathering items, basically. So let's go over one of the easiest ways. Well, I guess it can be easy or not, depends on you. But so if you go to the lithograph book and you kind of scroll, you can find them here in a minute. But see, like, some of these do reward crafting items, and there are blue ones further down. See, like right here, leather, rare iron ore. Excuse me. But so all you need is like a typical lithograph book. You just need to collect these 2 items, and then you can claim these rewards. So you could, if you wanted to, on your spare time, up to you, obviously, on whether or not you think hunting these down is equivalent to how long it would take you to just naturally farm 6 rare logs. Obviously, the drop rate on the blue items is kind of criminally ridiculous and really hit or miss. sometimes you could get a bunch in a row, and sometimes it could take you for freaking ever to get another one, or like it varies how many you can get. You could get 1, you could get 2, you could get 6. It's just very big variables. So you can simply just click on the item and it tells you where you can farm these items. So really up to you, but it's another avenue for you guys to get your base materials. And another way, I kind of showed it last video, you can kind of find that out by just how to acquire and clicking on the various tabs, like gathering. System is what it seems to be under, is what it's talking about, the lithograph book. So yeah, these various turn-ins give you this item. So multiple ways to get those things. Now with the, it seems to be the 550, all the 550 items require these scrolls. So like this porcelain thing, you need the scroll, which you can either buy here at the merchant with 40 coins each, or in your battle pass for housing Laslin's Abundance, you can go in here and buy these. Obviously in the last video I kind of highlighted really prioritizing getting your life coins first, but if you are able to, I highly suggest getting your 1 hour processing ticket as well if you're trying to quickly like go through crafting and leveling up your rating. But these are $250 each, just so you know. I know it says sold out. These are like $250 each, and they're monthly purchases. I do highly suggest, if you're able to, purchasing these, because that's a little bit easier to add into your stash versus the 40 life coins. That's quite a bit, if I'm honest. But so if you can, highly suggest, because 550 is the max, I believe, that a item can give you currently. So very important if you're trying to level up your stuff. Plus they're just some of the more intricate looking things to add to your house. But yeah, so I would say these two are like your third priority, if anything. Obviously these do not give you housing ratings, but they do look cool. A lot of these you can buy in the packs, so that's up to you. Now I also didn't mention it because I kind of just assumed people might know, but I'll just touch on it just in case. With the battle pass, it works the same as the normal battle pass that we have for like PvP, PvE stuff. I know I'm already at max, so it doesn't really matter, but if you were leveling up or you wanted more of these crystals, you can just click on the plus button and put Lucent towards it if you want to do that, to level up your pass faster and get to the end quicker, so you are getting these crystals in a faster manner. I personally don't buy Lucent, I just sell things that I get, and I did put some of my Lucent in to leveling it up faster for me to jumpstart the process. But you can still do that now if you are, you know, bringing in some Lucent somehow or whatever. You could put your Lucent towards these crystals and then be able to buy more of these. Obviously there are limits to how many of each you can buy, so pay attention to that kind of stuff. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and then for where to gather, now they added with the update as well. I showed you last time how you can zoom in and see where the icons are and how to filter these. You can just click off all this stuff to kind of just clear up your map so there's no confusion here. Go up to your world info, click on the icons for all the like housing stuff if you want to. The houses are just in town, but now, whoopsie, now they're showing up on the map. You don't have all the other clutter. But now with the update, if you hover your icon over these hover your mouse cursor over the icon, you can see the level of the gathering plot. So this is important, obviously, if you are not maxed out already on your gathering. There's level 1 for... There's only a level 1 and a level 10 for the fur gathering. So sheep is level 1. There's another level 1 sheep here. And then your level 10 is the llamas in Urba. The rest of your stuff, however, there's 3 level categories. So you've got level 1, and then there's like level 4s, and then level 10s. Now, the difference, I'm assuming, outside of just level cap, is the 4s versus the 10s, is the 10s have a higher blue chance than the 4s, because they're still giving you greens. Greens is like where you are introduced into the 4s. So I can't confirm that. I just assume that's the major difference between them. The level 4s glow a green hue on them, and the level 10s glow a blue hue on them. Now, there's a ton of different spots that you can go, and like I had said, you can click on how to find info to know where all the spots are. But there are some spots that are just better to farm at. Now, Ceradoma Island is a pretty fantastic spot because you've got soil all over here, level 10 here, by the way, everything level 10. You've got ore in multiple different spots. And on top of that, you can't see it because of the nature of what it is, but all the lizards here give you leather. So obviously we know Ceradoma has a really good respawn rate and a very dense mob spawn. So great place to farm your leather as well. So you've got 3 different resources you can get just in this one area. For me, I also like the ant nest for your, it's not showing up because I have the waypoint off, but here we go. Ant's nest for your sandstone. You've got your more advanced sandstone in the nest, and then on the outskirts of the nest, some of the gray sandstone spawns, and it respawns pretty quickly. You've also got some green trees that spawn along the side. For me, I really enjoy going down. Let me reset myself. Where am I? Over here. Okay, so over here for dirt and tree, they respawn really quickly. So that's a great spot. There's some spots out here for tree and dirt gray. For ore and sandstone, another spot that's really great is over here in Black Anvil Forge. For some rocks and trees and mud. Rocks are really great over here north of Whispering Lodge. Lake of Beginning for soil. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt because there's a really strong current here, but they respawn pretty quickly. And then down here in Horse Pasture next to Burkant is a really good level 10 logging site. So really, it kind of just depends on your server and time of day on what area is a really good farming spot for you. There's also, you know, like I said, just look at the map and find the icons and then go visit it. Maybe kind of check out some areas multiple times throughout the day just to see kind of how your server is. Like, is that someone's favorite farming spot? Because it could be due to just respawn rates that people like that area, or even just the view while they're farming, you know. But that's pretty much how I go about figuring out where I go to places. Windy Shores is like one of the beginner areas, which does have a lot of grays and whatnot, but it is very commonly full from what I've noticed most of the time, and I don't know if that's just people are not looking around or whatnot. Oh, another great spot, because the leather stuff doesn't show up on the map, like I said, it's kind of just knowing where to go. The wolves are really great for like gray level leather, as well as the boars over here outside Silas. I haven't really found anywhere else outside of Ceradoma to go for like greens and blues, because you're getting, like I said, you're getting greens no matter what, but you just have a higher chance for blues. So I figure, you know, I may as well invest my time wisely and just go in a dense, quick respawn area. I'm getting the greens, I'm getting the blues, kind of thing. But yeah, so there's all that. I'm gonna go to one of my guildies' house just to kind of showcase something, because I thought it was really cool what he was doing. Sorry if you can hear my kids in the background. Alright, so he doesn't have much in his house, right? But that's because he is over here kind of just testing the system, as you can see how it works. So he's messing with like how you can place stuff, how you can rotate and place stuff. You can see this thing is just floating. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was just trying to set up like a sci-fi situation in here, like, oh, gravity's all messed up or something. But no, he's just testing out the building system because he was a Final Fantasy player. And it is far more in-depth than what Final Fantasy had. So when you're in your houses, go out and have some fun. Obviously, there are some constraints. I'll kind of show you right now. Like, I made a... what is it? Fireplace. And I can't place it really anywhere nice because of these back bricks on the floor, so you kind of got to pay attention to some of the items, because even with overlap on, you can't completely overlap certain things, like with the actual like house's base structure. So keep that in mind, but you can overlap a lot. Like I'm pretty sure on the last video I mentioned overlapping and how I got these partitions to butt up to each other very cleanly. I also use the overlap just on a lot of the plants, because even the stems can cause you to not be able to place them. So if you're having issues with that, my suggestion, that some of my friends had issues with the overlap not working, is when you have the item selected, hit the delete button to withdraw it back into your storage, and then turn overlap back on, like swap it on and off, kind of like, you know, if you're trying to figure out computer issues. So if you're having the overlap, that is the best solution that I found so far, is just to return the item, turn it off, turn it on, kind of reset the system basically. But you can like right here, what I'm talking about, you can only like have the overlap work so much. I'm still getting this gap up here and whatnot, which is fine. I don't mind it. It's doing what I want it to do. But you can do tons of things. I mentioned in the description in my last video, but I didn't put it in the video, so I want to put it in here. Wallpaper and flooring, you can see these are tabs over here. So the ones you have are obviously the lighter colored ones, and these are the ones that you do not have. The great part is that you can see by clicking on them still, even if you don't have them, what they're going to look like. So if you were to go to the shop right now, you can click on the house icon to go to the housing stuff, and you can see the wallpaper and flooring that are currently in the shop, but you can't view them in the shop. So when you're in a house, if you want to see if you might enjoy what that flooring looks like, you can just click on it here or the wallpaper and then make your decisions that way to make sure that it looks good with what you got going on. Because I'll be honest, I bought this wallpaper just because I thought it was cute. I didn't know about this before I bought it, and well, it is cute. It is just a very busy wallpaper, and I'm just not a fan personally, because it just causes too much chaos for my eyes. If we were able to like set it to like specific walls and maybe do like a feature wall, I wouldn't mind it, but it's just too chaotic for me personally. So yeah, you can do that and make sure you're getting what makes you happy, and then play around with it, have a lot of fun. There's so many cool things you can do. There are some free stuff, like I mentioned, in the merchant, where you can spend solent to purchase those items, like these little garlics and stuff, just to kind of give your place an extra little pizzazz. But yeah, I believe that was everything I really wanted to touch on in this second part video. If there's any other changes or updates to anything, I'll be sure to put another video out, so my members stop asking me 4,000 questions a day. Alright, I love you guys. Have a wonderful time. Bye!